Hello, today we will spend time solving challenging word problems from this collection, Challenging Word Problems Singapore Math, Grade 6. We will jump to Chapter 2, which is about fractions corresponding to our recent topic. And I will start by demonstrating how to solve practice problems. First, we are going to only solve the odds. We're going to solve the odds, 1, 3, 5, and so on. And then at home, you can solve the evens. Notice that this chapter 2 on fractions contains two separate sections. One is called practice, and another one is called challenging problems, which are even harder than practice problems. So let's get to it. Problem number 1. We always start by reading a word problem. 3/5 of a number is 18. What is 7/10 of that number? Let me increase the font. So 3/5 of a number. We have no idea what number it's talking about, so let's make a bar. I like Singapore Math bar modeling method because it is so intuitive when you make a drawing. 3/5 of a number. So out of 5 equal parts, let's divide this number into fifths. And fifth and fifth, right? So now we have 5 equal parts, 1/5 in each. 3 of those fifths, so this is the same. This is 3/5, and that is equal to 18. The question is, what is 7/10 of that number? Well, my friends, let's start. Step 1. If 3/5 of a number is 18, that means how much? The question you ask yourself is how much inside each unit? Well, 3 units contain 18. That means each of these units is 6. Therefore, step 1, the number is 6 times 6. The entire number is 36. Okay, that's step 1. Now, not times 6, times 5. We have 5 units. I miscounted. 6 times 5 units. Of course, the whole number is 30. Now that we know the entire number is 30, the question is, what is 7/10 of that number? Well, we can use it with a draw. We can solve it with a drawing. We can solve it with math. Basically, we're asking 7/10 of 30. So we take 30, we split it into 10 equal parts, and multiply and take 7 of them. So that is the same as 3 times 7, which is 21. The answer is the number 21. I hope you got the idea. Let's talk about number 3. It's a little bit harder. Each problem in this textbook gets harder and harder as the chapter moves forward. String P is 2/5 of a foot long. String Q is 3/4 of a foot long, longer than string P. String R is 7/10 of a foot shorter than string Q. What is the total length of all 3 strings? My friends, I always like to underline the question just to make sure that we're always answering the right question at the very end. So let's talk about the 3 W's of problem solving. That is our, very trusted method to start any problem, solving any problem, not just mathematical problem. Who is the problem talking about? What is the problem talking about? And why are we asked to solve the problem? Well, the 3 W's, who, what, and why. Who is this problem talking about? Nobody. There's no living thing that this problem mentions. Very often it's people, friends, sisters, brothers. What is this problem talking about? Well, this problem is talking about strings. What does the problem tell us about strings? We have 3. String P, string Q, and string R. Very good. Notice how I line up my P, Q, and R as capital letters underneath, stacking them up on a piece of paper. What does the problem tell us about string P? Let's start from the top. String P is 2/5 of a foot long. Let's make a small little bar and let's label it 2/5 of a foot. Very good. What does the problem tell us about Q? The next string. String Q is 3/4 of a foot longer compared to string P. So, my friends, are we going to make the same bar for string Q? Is string Q the same length as string P? No, string Q is longer. There is a difference. How much longer? Well, it's telling us 3/4 of a foot longer, right? We can even say plus 3/4 of a foot. Now, the final string, the third one, string R, is 7/10 of a foot shorter than string Q. So here we're comparing to Q. Is that going to be the same string, the same as Q? No, it's going to be 7/10 shorter. It's going to be 7/10 shorter than string Q. So maybe somewhere right here, right? This is going to be our string. Let's make a straight line. This is going to be the length of string R. And what is the difference between R and Q? Well, the difference is 7/10, right? Q is 7/10 longer and R is 7/10 shorter. So let's go on. What is the total length of all the strings? I'm going to make this bracket and I'm going to put a question mark because that is precisely why we're trying to solve this problem. Let's go. Step 1. To add up all strings, we need to know each length. Do we know string P? Definitely. So they're asking us for P plus Q plus R equals question mark. Do we know string Q? No. Step 1. Let's find the length of string Q. And that is 2/5 plus 3/4 longer. Well, I hope you understand by now how to find the sum of two fractions with different denominators. Common multiple is 20, which means we would be adding 8/20 plus 15, right? 15/20, and that's 23/20 of a foot. And that's our string Q. My friends, there is no need to convert it to a proper fraction. Let's keep it like this because we will need it for addition in the final step. Step 2. Let's find the length of string R. Well, we know string R is shorter than Q. So we take 23 out of 20. And how much shorter? Minus 7 out of 10. Of course, it's the same as 23 out of 20 minus 14 out of 20, right? I found an equivalent. I hope you follow, 6th grade. And string R is 9 of a 20th foot long. Finally, what we need to do is we need to substitute. We have string P is 2/5 of a foot plus string Q is 23/20 of a foot plus string R is, let's substitute right here, 9/20 of a foot. Of course, this is our step 3, right? The final step. And I hope you can multiply and find the common denominator and know that the length of all 3 strings is 2 feet long. You may pause the video and find your own answer.